TxStampin Sharon. The project that I'm doing with you today is involving a bundle that I bought and hadn't used. It's super fun. I've really enjoyed playing with it. If you've not already subscribed to my channel, I sure would appreciate it if you do so below. Let me know what you think about this project because it's different and I kind of was like, not sure how it works. Let me show you. Here is my adorable little card. It's actually like a little note card and it has a gatefold. Super cute. And if you'll notice, the leaves and the flowers interlock to close the card up. Isn't that so fun? Simple stamping and the framelits do all the hard work for you. The bundle that I'm talking about is Bouquet Blooms, and I always love different kinds of flowers and everything. And I loved the mixed font on this one. So I bought it like, a couple months ago and hadn't played with it yet. So I was like, I'm going to pull that out and play with it. First thing that popped out was like, what do I do with these? So I want to show you. And before I go any further, Stampin' Up! Recommends that your paper is 9 inches by 5 inches. Well, 9 inches takes up a whole sheet of cardstock. And I'm always happy when I can get two cards out of one sheet of cardstock. So I was like, well, what would happen if I didn't do that? If I just went with a regular 8.5 by 5. I did have to trim it down. I figured that out. And what happens is, I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell this because they're both white, but the 9 one, the one that's 9 inches, does end up being a little bit bigger, but not much. And I'm like, okay. But if you'll notice, the gatefold is the same, but I found an easier way to do it because with me cutting down the cardstock, it was a little bit trickier. So let me share with you. You're going to take and put one of the cutting framelits and you want to line up the edge of that T with the edge of your cardstock, and you want to line this up with the edge of the cardstock. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other end, lining everything up with the edges. Let me flip this around, make sure you can see it. So that's what it'll look like going through your Big Shot, okay? If you're wondering if these are gonna fit in a regular envelope, they do fit. Mine is a little bit smaller, but this is what this one looks like. Again, I know it's white on white, so I don't know if y'all can tell, but it does fit with plenty of room around. It's just an odd-shaped, little cute little note card. I've pulled out my paper piercing mat because these are all photopolymer stamps. To get started, we're going to use all the pretty colors. I chose colors specifically in one color family, and that was the Brats. I am a bold brat girl, so I love the Brats. And so basically all I'm gonna do, and I don't know if you can see, there's a little arrow on the end of the stamp. So I always put the arrows towards me. And what that arrow is for is to make it easier to line up with the framelits when you are, let me grab a framelit. So see how there's a little arrow there? So this is not the right one, but here, let me do this. Let me stamp this one. So then when I go to line it up, it's going to line up much easier than having to go, which way does this thing go? Make sense? By stamping everything at one time, I can then take it all to the Big Shot and cut it out. There is no framelit. Let me pull these back over. There's no framelit for the leaves. So the first time I did it, I stamped leaves on there and I was like, not fussy cutting those. I went ahead and cut out all the flowers. If you have a Big Shot, you know how to cut them out. I'm gonna open this back up. And I wanted my leaves to be green, and I have a confession to make. I colored these with my Stampin' blends, which are alcohol based, and guess what? They went through to the back. So keep that in mind. On this video, we're gonna try just using the Stampin' Wrap markers, and we're gonna color them. If you do use the Stampin' blends and it goes through, it may be a little spotty on the back, and all you do is just color it like I did. I really do like the Stampin' blends for it because it was a lot faster. I feel like I'm having to go over this. This was Greeny Apple Green is what I used. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp on the inside. We're just gonna put the flowers. There are framelits for these flowers, but I felt like with it being on the inside, I probably shouldn't cut it out. I should just stamp it. And then we're gonna stamp our sentiment on the outside. So we're gonna close this back up just to see where we're stamping. Whoops. Well, goodness, I'm bending my leaves. Oh, I think I want this one to be in purple. And now what I want to do is I want to stamp some leaves around where my flower is going to be. Let me open this back up. So we're just going to add some leaves. And then I'm also going to add some leaves down here. And it doesn't matter where you put them because those cut out flowers that we did are going to hide any problems that we might have. We're not going to have any problems. Now I will point out, do you see these two little notches? Can y'all see those? I figured out when I did my card that I put the flower over one of the notches and it had a little bit of issues when I went to go close it. So this time we're not going to cover up the notches. We're just going to put our card back together. I'm going to take the larger flower. I'm going to add some snail to it. And then I'm just going to line it up with the flower that's on here. We're going to start taking our other flowers and we're going to add some with dimensionals and some not. This one I'm not. And I'm going to put this one up here. And this one. Actually, we're going to put this one on the dimensional. So you kind of play with it as you start assembling. How many of y'all have this? Have y'all played with this thing yet? It's really cute. And I really have had fun playing with it. I've seen some other samples and I decided that I wanted mine just white. I didn't want to use any other colored cardstock. All right, so we have one more big one. We're gonna pop this one on with a dimensional. and show you something. Depending on how you start stamping, like my part down here is a little bit smaller. On this card, I did fold it differently. And I will show you at the end how I ended up folding that one, because this one ends up being more like a, what they used to call a hot dog fold. And this one is just more offset. Pulling in our teeny tiny little dimensionals. So you just kind of build your little garden however you want. I just think it's so cute. And I'm sure that by changing the dimensions of your cardstock, you could end up doing like a little gift card holder. I mean, you could do all kinds of things with this. It's doing all the work for you. Where do we want this one? I think I want it right there. We have 2 more to do. Making sure that I don't put a flower over my leaf or my card won't open. Does that make sense? We're just gonna put this one. We're going to put it right here. I love it. It's so fun. Super fun. Super fun. Now for the center, I decided that I was going to go ahead and color, and this is Mango Melody, and I went ahead and colored this because I didn't want that much white space. Again, on the first one, I used my Stampin' blends and it went through. So be careful. I'm pulling in the glitter enamel dots. I haven't played with these in a while either. This was just like play day in my studio. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up one of these. I'm going to pop that in the center. And then I'm going to use some of the other enamel dots. Let's see. Nope, changed my mind. We're going to use a smaller one. But I mean, can y'all just see how much fun it is just to play? The next thing I decided to do was to add some bling. Let's pull in some rhinestones. I love rhinestone jewels. I think they're so fun. And I love bling, so this worked for me. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 blings. We need one more. Let's do this one. Okay, we are done. What do y'all think? Again, it's called Bouquet Blooms, and if you have not already purchased this and you want to, you can head to my store in the link below, and I will have the item codes for y'all in the description. I will also have just some other information for you. But before you go, I want to show you what I did, and it might help you when you're putting together your gatefold card. So I've cut out a piece for you, and if you will notice, I don't know if you can see, whoops, I don't know what that is. There are little notches. They're tiny. I don't think my camera's picking it up, but they're little notches where you would score and fold on. When I was putting mine together, I didn't quite see those notches, so I was having a little bit of trouble. So what I ended up doing was I just folded it in half like this, lined up my edges, and then I just kind of squished it down. That's what happens when you don't read the directions or try to figure things, or like notice that there's notches, but it works. So hopefully that'll help you. I mean, it's folded in a different place than if you do it the right way, but it doesn't matter. It's still cute. Thank you guys for watching. I think it's adorable. What do you think? I would love to hear your comments below. And, you know, there's so many possibilities with this bundle. Again, it's called Bouquet Blooms. And I'm thinking, you know, in these cold, dreary months, it was time for a little floral. So thank you guys so much for watching. Happy stamping.